sit home, get recharged, and go again.
We didn't have a website until right before the pandemic, which is crazy.
And this is very explicit, so stop me if I need to.
Okay, let's go R-rated.
Well, yeah, this is R-rated for sure.
Mean Girls never win.
Mean Girls never win.
Yes.
I remember that song. If you drink, don't drive, do
The watermelon crawl.
What's up, y'all? Michelle Peth here, and thank you for tuning in today as I have an amazing guest whom I actually have a lot in common with, and I didn't realize until 10 minutes ago that I already knew her. She's a spray tan client here in Savannah, but the funny thing is, I sometimes don't remember it. So this is Amanda. I mean, to tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about what you do, what you've done, and then we'll go into me forgetting who you are.
Well, I'm in real estate. I've been in real estate for the last 10 years. I'm also a model and actress. I've been in several movies, including like X-Men First Class, Air Jordan, that we just recently filmed this past summer, and then Apollo 11 that we just wrapped up this last week. And then also I've been in multiple international air magazines. And so I'm a little bit random, volunteer firefighter, goat farmer, and love chickens.
I love it. I love her already. I wish I would have asked you these questions when I did come to your house, or just would have got to know you better. But if you don't know, I am also a realtor, but I, of course, own Beet Tan, and it's a mobile tanning company. So I actually have popped up my tent in Amanda's house, and I just am in and out. I try to respect people's privacy and get in and out of there so they can live their lives. And I take pride that I simplified the process and I think that's why people use me over and over again, because I'm in and out the way. I know you trip, fall, say, or do something stupid, but I get out of your way. So it's funny, I already knew her intimately, which happens a lot to me. And Savannah's small, so I guess we could start with Savannah. Savannah's really small, and it's easy to bump into people often, but it's a small town. And real estate, I also have a real estate license. I do mostly commercial. I had to, of necessity, do some residential during COVID because residential was taking off and people were kind of scared to start businesses. So yeah, and still makes no sense why the people were buying houses during such a scary time.
Right. I mean, yeah, and paying ungodly amount of money for
craziness. Well, the interest rates, of course, were part of the reason, but yeah, I didn't. So do you do mostly residential?
And yeah, I do a lot of luxury. And and that market was booming when everything was hot, but that's always the first market to kind of cool off. Is the higher the price, the
very true. Yeah, very true. We also don't have a lot of real estate in Savannah. We have more realtors, right? The maintain real estate, which I think, but we've never had a ton of real estate. When I first started doing it, I would get really excited because I'd get a ton of calls, especially with commercial. We have way more residential in Savannah as well than we do commercial space, especially in the desired living areas.
Right.
So it was really hard to tap into that. So you messed me up completely, right on. I was going into something to, let me start over. Okay, so with the commercial, I went into residential. I found it really, really hard. And it's, I would love to know about the luxury because I had to, since I was coming into residential, I didn't get into much luxury and Savannah. I was in the tough market that everyone wanted, that price point, from $250 to $450, which is still a very desired market.
It is, and that's the most affordable, and that's where most people kind of land on their budget. So the luxury market, I'm from Atlanta originally, and so when I first started real estate, I got into expired listings, houses that didn't sell. So those are always luxury because there's only so many buyers for those.
It's true.
And so that's how I got into here. It's just really finding people that actually needed my help and then helping them get it sold. Obviously during COVID, it was a little bit different situation because houses were selling like this, but that we're starting to see that need again for people like myself to come in and help those people get their house sold.
Yes. And I mostly work with buyers, so we should keep in touch.
Yeah.
For sure. And because I'm in the commercial world, I have a different buyer which I miss. So I'm back into it. I only take on about 5 clients a month because I do own a business.
Right.
Like yourself, I do a ton of other things. So I have to how do you find time? Like, how do you find time to do all? Because I mean, listen, we just went over everything she does. So really, I would love to. I mean, I guess I find time. I find that make it happen. But she also is a mother of two, Chris, too. So yeah. So you got to tell me how you do that, girlfriend.
Well, honestly, I got really fortunate. My oldest is adopted, and we adopted him at 15. And so he's 17 now, and my youngest is 7. So he helps out with carpool and like picking up. I mean, he's super easy. Couldn't do without him, for real.
Yeah. That's my son was super helpful. But I just had him. I'm just lucky. And around 17 is when he started helping me a lot. So that's when he actually got his real estate license at 18, but he did not enjoy it.
That's what mine wants to do. I keep trying to like, well, why don't we, look at some other options just in case, because you can always fall back on your degree and do real estate with a degree, right? But you can't fall back on something you don't have.
Wow, we really do have a lot in common. Because I'd still made my son go to college.
Right. And I went, and I think it's important that you go. I don't really, I mean, I guess my degree a little bit. I am majored in interior design, so it's helped me stage houses and things like that, but not really, use my degree.
Did you make relationships? I feel like I want him to make solid.
So many, well, I shot my husband in college, so there you go.
The most important relationship you've ever
I've been married for 11 years. So.
Yeah, I just want him to, I think the relationships that you build in college, I didn't get that because I had him in 18. So it was more like the experience. I understand the statistics but I wanted him to be around kids who care about their future, and him staying in Savannah with the kids that didn't do anything after high school. Nothing against them or the parents or anything like that, but that's not what I wanted for my child. I wanted to give him by his parents what I didn't have. So that's so crazy. We do actually have so much in common.
And I would say with that, like, this environment that we live in socially is not conducive to making physical friends. And so going to college.
Very true. Yeah, very true. That's exactly where my head was at. And it's so hard for them. It's really, even he's 21 and yours is 17. It's really, COVID really did affect that. But pre-COVID, just social media, like being in their phones and
not present.
Yes, at all. So, and then I made him get a service industry job, and I made him go to college. I didn't make him, I encouraged him rather. So that, I mean, I'm right there on the same page. If you ever need me for advice, if I don't have, because 17 was fun, but there's also some challenges with a 17-year-old, but he was helpful too. So I think if there's something to being a mama's boy. All right, tell me about this goat farming. So here we're talking about real estate. Now I want to go to goat farming, and we're going to go to model actress. I mean, can you even? This woman is so impressive.
Well, so the goat farming, I really, I had some health problems a long time ago, and I realized that what I eat, what I put in my body, what I put on my body is, all affects the way that I feel. And so going back to like the natural way of things was the reason why we kind of did a little hobby farming thing. But the goat farming specifically, my husband's mother got preliminarily diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's at 59. And goat milk actually has a major amino acid in it for brain support. And so in studies they did with rats, it actually got them from dementia all the way to regular like thinking processes and like 6 weeks less. So
that's so crazy. And what other, I know goat, well, I've heard the same thing. My son's really into farming and soil science, and goats have a lot to do with that and how I don't know, I wish he was here. Yeah, he knows the science behind all of it.
But like you make cheeses, you can do soaps, like the lotions and the soaps. I haven't done that yet, but I've used some, and it's really great.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so amazing. What do you like? Do you like them as pets as well?
Yeah, I mean, they're really funny. They're up here still, and they climb things, and they're just like so crazy.
And you do have to mow your lawn?
No.
Yeah, I remember that there was a goat farmer that would bring goats to my uncle's house, and he liked paying him over.
Yeah, they just pay them to eat. Yeah, people that have like kudzu or something in their yards, they can't, get rid of.
Yeah, just pay the goats to come. So you just have like keep your own, make sure they don't eat something. It's the great. It is so funny to me. Well, Alzheimer's, I don't know if you heard, but I'm doing the DSO with the stars for Alzheimer's. So I'd definitely love to make sure you have a seat there, especially since that impacts you and your husband.
Definitely.
So definitely we'll get you 2 seats there. Plus I need some people cheered me on.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's always. But I had grandmother was through marriage. It was my little brother's grandmother. We lived beside. She had Alzheimer's. It's a terrible disease.
Yeah, my grandmother had as well. It's awful.
It's tragic. Yeah, it's very tragic. It's just sad. And then I worked at an assisted living facility in my early 20s, and I was the activities director.
Okay.
And then it was fun, but it was sad because you get so emotionally attached to the patients, and then they quickly, it was pretty rapid. So that's crazy and so passionate of you to do something, it's for your own health too, but if it runs in your family, at least you're like, right, to do something.
Yeah, but with my husband's family, it doesn't run in his family. And so it's a completely oddball situation. And I kind of, I guess from my grandmother's experience, kind of recognize the signs. And that's why I was like, you got to get her to a neurologist like ASAP. I mean, she's so young, and like normal doctors just not going to point that out as like a potential.
Yeah, that's so sad. It's so sad. And good thing they had you. I mean, if you're taking any positive from it, like I always try to do that in life. If I've experienced something, I try to give as much knowledge that I can, so you could help your husband emotionally.
Well, it's the only way you can turn that kind of pain you experience into something, progressive.
Yes, might be the takeaway today. Pain into something progressive, because that literally moving forward is really what is goes in everything in life. It goes being a mother. It goes being a realtor, which a realtor is the same. Yes, it's just a pain in the ass job. Let's just be real. It's so pain in the ass. It kind of reminds me in bartending, except paychecks are bigger and they're not as drunk.
Right.
You're just telling people what they should do with their money. Because as a bartender, that's why I got out of. I thought it was a good transition, because I was like, well, I thought all these people want my advice for shit I don't know.
Right.
So I thought real estate was a good transition, because I think it's obviously everything's relationship based, and it all just kind of goes in together. But from what you just said, turn pain into something progressive, having a business and be a real estate agent sometimes gets treated as just, I don't know, like a car salesman. Nothing against car salesmen, but it's not. It is like having your own business. You have to build your clientele. It's very demanding, and it's never, you can't just halfway do it. You're either in or you're out, and that's it. Yeah, and it's a full-time job, so I essentially do multiple things like you do. So I am still so impressed that I can't imagine having a goat farm mixed in with everything I do. I'm a city girl, I live in the city. I'm also a little jealous because I am an animal lover too, so super jealous of that. God, I would love to be around animals all the time. Maybe I'll come visit and help out. I know that my son would volunteer, I know. Okay, so now we're going to go into what she does. I just want to ask you about your modeling and acting experience, because we also have a common ground there. I think I just met my new best friend.
So many moons ago, when I was much younger, I had an agent in Atlanta, and I did a lot of jobs with magazines, and I did runway, I did some movies, that kind of stuff. And then I decided that I wanted a real big girl job, and I wanted to get married and do all those things. And my mom used to always tell me that beauty fades, but dumb is forever. So I like that too. Got a job, and been working it ever since. And then my dad actually passed away 5 years ago. He left me with this 1972 Chevy Chevelle, which was what I wanted for my 16th birthday. And these movies were asking for cars, and so I went and got the car in the movies, what thing. But the more I did the movies, the more everyone's like, well, you should be back in this industry. You should be back doing these things. And so ever since then, that's why I got right back in. Just got another agent. So I'm, just not a thing.
Which is where we have, so I spray tan Channing Tatum while filming. And actually, I didn't even know what they were filming. What are they coming?
Callow 11. It's going to be an awesome movie. I mean, really, it's going to be it's got a lot of comedy in it.
Just seems to be treated the movies he's in.
Yeah, it's always a comedy.
A little sexy, a little comedy.
What I realized about him, which I thought was really great, is that he gets paid to just be himself. I mean, he's not any different on when the camera's rolling or when it's off. He's still kind of quirky, goofy, funny, obviously very attractive.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's exactly the same way off camera as he is on camera. And so I think that's really, that's great.
He's authentic. He's authentically, and I sprayed other actors, and I was expecting that the bodyguards are there, because I'm going there after they're done, all set. in their hotel, in their house, rental, whatever, and spraying them, and they're taking their clothes off. So this was the one actor that I didn't have a million people like hovering over me. Like, really, should be the one that he, right? Yeah, flying about the woman coming over. But in case anyone doesn't know that's listening, Savannah does a ton of film. Atlanta obviously does. They're calling Atlanta the new Little Hollywood, but it's because there's a tax incentive for filming here. So there's a huge tax break. I don't know the details of it, but I know that for the last, I don't know, 6-7 years at least.
Yeah, and
it's been big.
I think Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have also like a special place in their heart for Savannah and the area surrounding it, because I think Ben Affleck is from Riceboro, so he tries to get film shots in Savannah for his movies.
Yeah, so it's good for Savannah. And then I ended up, I think my great friend Rayshawn, I ended up on the film page. But then ironically, my first big one was just from a referral from a makeup artist. Okay. From my friend Bram Murphy, that works in film. He did that. So it's just weird how everything intertwines in business and in life. And here we are. We've met the same person, and you were three out to be that person, right? I know, right? Dude, when I got the call, I went through, I'm just going to say something personal real quick. Me and my boyfriend had an amicable breakup, like nothing bad to say about him. I'm sure he has nothing bad to say about me, but it was still sad. It was the end of our relationship, and I was bawling. And then leaving, and then got the call from Channing Tatum's makeup.
Oh my gosh.
Tried to literally like a toddler suck up my tears, because I had that I'm a very emotional person, so I was like crying.
Yeah.
And had to suck it up and be be freaking professional. But yeah, that's not. I've never been so sad and so happy. Everybody, what I call it, right? Like, what in the hell? And then you are a volunteer firefighter. Also, I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's all a bunch of random things, but, I mean, I think it's just a matter of, there's so many things I think a lot of people want to do in life, and they never actually go and do it. They think, well, that's not for me, even though it was something I want. And if I get something in my head that I think is something that I want to do, I just go do it. And if I fail, then I fail. But if not, I think not trying is the biggest failure of all.
Well, I love that. I mean, you're giving me so many things, and this is, you're such a good guest, because this is, my whole life is about empowering women. I really want to empower everyone I come across, but as a single mom,
right.
But I'm a mother of a boy, so I don't have the same, I still want to empower my child too, but I didn't feel like I could do it for years, and now at 39 years old, I have this amazing sunless tanning company I love. I did really do well in my first year of real estate, but there's always that self-doubt, right? So I love that you just go for it. I love that you do that. That's I try to mentor women all the time who come on and sign up with the spray tan company to start a business, and that's hard. And it's hard to teach.
Absolutely. But I think it goes back to, turning pain into progress. So the fear, the self-doubt, motivating you to go do the thing that you're most afraid of.
Yeah. So I guess that's why the universe, God, they keep sending bad stuff, because they know I'll turn this thing into progress. Exactly. I love that about you so much. So, well, tell me a little bit about, what do you do when you volunteer for, what is, if on a day that you do that or an evening that you do that, what does that entail?
So I just got done with, maybe a couple months ago, I got done with the actual fire school. So you have to go through and get certified just like any other firefighter. So you have to go through the whole program, carry a 250-pound man out of a burning building kind of stuff. So say I was intimidated is an understatement. I don't think anybody felt that I was intimidated, but I was very intimidated by the whole thing. And then having to learn the stages of fire, being in a burning, they set the metal cube on fire while we're in it, and lock doors and show us all, fireballs over your head and stuff. But that's what you need to see when you're going into a burning building. You've got to be the calmest person in the room. So,
I mean, I don't even think she's real. I mean, this is crazy. I am so happy that I met you. I wish I would have gotten to know you before. Maybe you've inspired me to just start asking my spray tan clients more questions, because I just feel like I need to, respect their boundaries and they are getting undressed, but I seriously, like, at this whole I had a whole 4-hour trip back to Atlanta when I was like, I need to get out my shell. I need to do something different that I wouldn't do. I'm ready to, like, take this thing to a different level. And I seriously think me not knowing and I was right here with her all the time. Like, yeah, that's crazy that I didn't know that. So lesson learned for me this week, I need to just suck it up and get to know people, because I truly am very, like, this, I mean, you have a lot going on, and it's so crazy how much we have in common.
Well, I think there's a lot of really impressive people out there that don't, talk about what they're doing, and when you find out, you're like, oh my gosh, how I never do. I've known people like that for years, and then you find out what they're doing with, like, volunteer organizations or helping,
and what you could do together, right, to either empower someone else to do the same thing or help some type of charity or fundraising or community. Way back, it's fallen through the cracks, which I hate it, but we used to have this group called the V in Savannah. And the girls that get together that we're always are like, where did that go? What happened? And I think we got a little intimidated by other, not that, I mean, Savannah has some really fucking awesome females in there, and that's why I have a business here, and that's why I have a business. But there's sometimes some cattiness that gets thrown in, and it's so bad how the bad will sometimes overshadow, and I don't want to do that for someone.
I don't remember who told me this, but someone told me one time, my light affects their demons, and that's why they get so upset. When you walk into a room and you're doing well, the only time you're being hated is when you're doing well, and so you should take that and run with it because you're doing something right.
Exactly, and it took me a long time to really do that. I have no idea why, but now I think I'm turning 40 next year. I am like, come at me. It's now or never, right? Like, get it done. Come at me. No, we definitely, I mean, I definitely would love to, like, just have a glass of wine or drink beer, or even do something cool, like, something, I don't know, like, some kind of challenge together would be fun, like some kind of physical challenge. I mean, I'm having to really get in shape. So for Dance of the Stars, for Alzheimer's Association, I really, if people are going to give money, I'm not graceful, so I'm not going to do a ballroom dance. So I'm going to do like Circus du Soleil. Now I have a fire for you, very intimidating. And I'm going to do pole dancing, but more fitness style. I'm not going to like be naked and pole dance, right? Like the city of Savannah. Or love me or hate me, I was this way out to go. But also I'm a mother and own a business in town, so I'm going to keep it tasteful. But I have to get very in shape. So, like, I'm trying to find all these, like, new ways.
Well, that was one of the main motivators for, volunteering as firefighters, the amount of physical activity involved in doing that. And I'm one of those people that I have to have a reason behind what I do. So, like, just going to the gym, I'm not helping anybody but myself, and that doesn't motivate me. I have to find something.
Yeah, exactly. Same. I'm the same. So we should just do something. We should definitely do something, and I'll be helping you get in shape for, if you're volunteer firefighting, you can help me get in shape for this Dance with the Stars with the Alzheimer's Association. I think that will be fun. And then we can also have a drink and then laugh at ourselves after. I think laughing and yourself is I would not have made it through life without laughing at myself.
No, definitely not. If you can't laugh at yourself, then you can't handle anybody else laughing at you. And that's where you, like, growth goes to die right there, is when you can't handle criticism.
Exactly. Well, I did it. My awesome friend Rayshawn did, but a question that I have on the Liz's words of wisdom that you want to put out there, I have to say you've already done a lot. And my favorite thing that you said was pain into progress. Right. And then there's something else you said that your mom said to you.
Beauty fades, but dumb is forever.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so, so much. It's funny because it's such a teeny bopper pop song. Actually, it's not. It's got some strong lyrics. I just think just because it's a young woman doesn't mean it doesn't hold value. It holds more value because you are empowering young girls listening to your music. But it's I did that song "Sit and Look Pretty." I don't even think that's anything.
Oh yeah,
I listened to it 3 times.
I love that song. I use that one of my I did a reel when I like to build things, and so I built like a shoe rack, and that's one of the things I'm in there doing with, like, the table saws and all the different things. And that was the song I used as a background, because I don't want to just sit and look pretty. I want to be out there actually accomplishing real world goals and doing things that any man would be doing, or whatever it is I feel want to do.
We could do like a Savannah movement. Like that's our hashtag. I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation. I've heard hashtags are still good and still not good, but anything I put out into the world on social media or anything, anything like that it's out there. It's someone that I don't know personally. I want to make sure that they're giving the right message with my business, with real estate, with I feel like I need to be doing more after meeting you. But that's how you want to make someone feel though, right? Like and it makes me feel good about taking on so many things because look how much you're taking on. There's no excuse for me not to do more. So that's what you did for me today. Like, you want to do more. No, and that's what life is about. And at least you're impacting people in a way that they want to do more and be better. Because that's exactly what why I'm trying to do with this podcast.
Right, absolutely. And I think when you let your light shine, it inspires other people to shine theirs as well.
And the ones that it doesn't,
right, forget them.
Yeah, I'm not going to be mean.
No, I thought the words wisdom, some will, some won't, so what next?
And I like that. Some will, some won't. So what next? I like it. Next. Well, thank you so much for coming on here. I don't know if you feel the same way that I do, but I feel like I made a friend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me around.
And we got to get together soon. Definitely.
Cool. We also got Phil 10 more minutes.
We don't. 10 whole more minutes? Can we do like a longer commercial? We did a lot of stuff there.
We did.
I mean, I have a million questions for you, but
is there anything that I should have went more into? I mean, she just has she's so cool.
What are some of the craziest things that or like, just like terrible real estate story, funny on-spec story?
Okay. Before I go into that avenue, I just want you to know that I was known in my office as the person like that. How could this happen? Why did all these happen to these people? Like, I don't understand.
Okay, so that's how I should leave the question. Where do you find these people? I am too, and we will have Beth Bantosh on here, and she will say it too. All right. So tell me at Bantosh Realty, I'm like, Beth doesn't believe me sometimes, and I hear that you also are known as, like, how did that happen?
The trouble with clients. Yes, trouble with clients. I think my craziest story is when I was working in Atlanta, and I had this client. I told you to do expired listings, so you never really know what you're going to get with people. So he seemed like a great guy the whole time, got his condo under contract, and it comes to closing time, and he's telling me he's not going to come to closing, but he's acting very, very strange. He's slurring his words. He's driving around town looking for the attorney's office, but not going to it. And so I go by, try to knock on the condo, ended up calling the fire department to break him out of his own condo because he was literally high on drugs in there. Yeah, and we had the closing attorney come to the condo to sign documents. Oh my, it was the craziest thing. And I tried to find his family on Facebook to see if they could help him. I mean, it was just the craziest. It was a very high-end sale, and this is just random, low-end, whatever. This was one of the top.
And how stressful. Closings are already stressful. I had no way to deal with that. It's like, I don't know how to deal with this. And what a badass closing attorney. They're like, I don't know.
They brought the notary person and everything. It was crazy.
I don't think I have anything during closing. I just walked in for a scheduled showing and walked in on a divorce. They were selling the house and they're going through a divorce. And the husband was not supposed to be staying there, but he was, and there was a female there, and I walked in on it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And ran out. And I'm just so emotional and reactive. I just ran out screaming. And the buyers, that particular couple ended up not buying in Savannah, but that was pretty crazy. Seriously, I don't know. Do you have any showing stories?
Oh yeah, I had again back in Atlanta. A lot of the houses up there are 6,000 plus square feet with a basement. And there's the one person living in them. So showing house, going down the basement, and a lot of basements don't have windows, so you flip on the light. Well, we flipped on the light, and the seller is literally hiding in the corner and jumped out at us, and she's just
boo?
Yeah, that was scared the crap.
Like and was she trying to eavesdrop?
I had no idea what she was doing. And I still don't know to this day what she was doing. Me and my client looked at each other just horrified, and we were just like, okay, and time to go.
Terrified. That's so weird. You just killed your own sale. Like, being the weird.
No wonder your house is still in the market.
Oh my gosh. Real estate is a whole, I'm telling you, that's why it reminds me of bartending. You have these characters, and the thing is in Savannah, and I don't know if you felt like this, like especially in commercial, but there are some characters here that own a ton of real estate.
Yeah,
and they have some store. I mean,
they do, and like the divorce situations are probably the worst. I mean, I had this one here in Savannah. It was like a French guy and this other girl, and they were getting divorced. He didn't want the divorce to happen, so he thought he kept the house, then he wouldn't have it, and like he tried to like derail that sale every chance he got, and it was the craziest. I'm like almost stepped away from it, but I was like, no.
I think the reason you end up with clients like that is because I can handle them. Yeah. You can handle it, so it's like, yeah. I mean, I feel like after bartending, I can. I'm not really. I would like to say I'm not fazed by it, but when it comes down to other people's money and that part starts to freak me out. I don't want to cost anyone money. I don't want to. That part. So kudos to you for keeping your cool. I'm known as the person that freaks out at my risk. I take on all the emotion, which is why I shouldn't do residential. There's got to be like some kind of, I take it all home, take it to bed, wake up 3 a.m. Like, oh yeah, that's why residential. That's why I normally take on some of its clients.
You're missing people's personal money and they're where they live, and like it's a very emotional process for anybody to freak out.
Yeah, it is that. It is so. I do love me some commercial. Real estate is in Savannah. Do you think it was easier in Atlanta or in Savannah? Or just different?
It's totally different problem. It's a different problem. I think the flood insurance situation here adds a whole element of question. But up there we have radon, so it's like you have to have radon test because you can have radon in your house.
I've never dealt that hair sound or anything.
It's because there's no granite. Apparently, it comes from the granite.
It's very something new every day. I do love real estate. I do love the relationships. A lot of times I end up friends with our real estate clients too.
Yeah. Almost all my very best friends have been clients at one point. And yeah, obviously I'm friends from before real estate, but those people, you go through such an adventure with that, and it's hard, and you do everything you can to make it the best possible adventure it can be in such a crazy market, right? And exactly. So if you do your job, I feel like they do want to be your friend at the end.
Yeah, and Savannah's so small, it's kind of hard not to run into them again. So
right,
you better.
And then there's the agents. You wonder how they're still in business because of the way it
makes no sense. I mean, how did the best listings and all that? No, so
I dealt with.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, and I bet you're the same way as me. I just lay the facts out, and this is what you should list your house for. This is what the house like. There's always going to be, and this much money is not going to make that much difference on your mortgage. Like, here's the facts.
Right.
I can't morph your unrealistic into I'm going to stick to the facts.
I make them buy their own house at the listing appointments. I have sheets of the pictures of their comps.
That's so smart.
And then I ask them if you're looking for this house, and we list all the great qualities.
Oh my God, that's genius.
And then they have to make an offer on their own house that they chose. And then I'm like, okay, so you're paying this one for that one, and this one pops up in the market. What would you pay for it? There's your price.
Oh my gosh, you're genius. I not enjoy residential, but that is so smart. That's what you do at your listing.
That's like the only way to like get rid of that.
Dude, that's gold.
Then there are some people that literally won't get down off that crazy like.
Oh, why not?
They can see it in front of them and still not.
But that is a good.
And I can't take credit for it. I learned that a long time ago when I first got started from a really great agent in Atlanta, and obviously she's killing it, but that's the only way to get them out of that emotional threshold of like my house.
That's even better for me to do with investors who are looking at it as that like switching off to unwind.
Yeah, you got to get them off that emotional roller coaster and start looking at it black and white.
Now, I will say with investors, they usually aren't emotional. It's very transactional, but I'm also, even though I don't want to screw anyone over because they have more
like a poker emotion though. Yeah, I mean like the investors are like that.
So true.
Yeah, exactly.
Very true. All right, so tell everyone how to find you for all the things that you do. So please tell, your social media, where you want people to find you.
So you can follow me on Instagram. Amanda.huggins.homestead is on Instagram. And then I live in Atlanta is where you can find me for real estate.
Nice. So no goat farming. Is that on your personal? Okay, good. I mean, I feel like I'm going to follow her, but we are now friends. So thank you so much for being on. That was such a fun conversation. I just felt like I was sitting here with a friend. That was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.